This is supposed to represent a joint of marijuana. Pot, right? But it's actually just paper towel. Sorry to burst your bubble, you thought Alpha was gonna smoke dope on a video. Finally! You knew I got high, right? Well, hang on, because today we're going to talk about it. I'm a little nervous about this video because from the beginning I've tried to steer away from controversial topics like religion, politics, and how to dress up Under Armour. One of the reasons is because a personal pet peeve of mine is when you have these people in the media or celebrities who have an audience and they think that just because they've got an audience or a following that they are justified in basically expressing their views on religion, politics, everything under the sun in life. It's like they're in movies, people run up to them, ask them for their autograph, and they think that their opinion actually matters. It's like your 8th grade education is going to outweigh all the scientific research, evidence, and all that stuff? Yeah, really? Well, you guys know that I don't need any help sounding uneducated or dumb. The other reason is that I have worked way too hard to develop a brand, and for me to go and talk about something super controversial just because I may feel something and totally alienate a large portion of the population would be brand and Alpha M suicide. I just want to talk about shoes and how to eliminate swamp ass. All of this just to say that today I'm going against my better judgment to address a question that I recently got asked. The question was, Alpha, what are your thoughts on weed? The follow-up question was, do you have any experience with it? Do I have any experience with it? That is just the most diplomatic way of asking me if I ever have smoked pot. And so with all the debate surrounding the legalization of marijuana and the fact that I'm sure some of you are curious as to my views on recreational marijuana use, I figured why not give my experience and opinion. Please note, this is just my opinion and nothing else. Also note that Alpha M and its affiliates do not endorse the views expressed by its owner. Okay, so the first question, have I ever smoked pot? And the answer is yes, I have. And I inhaled. I first smoked pot in high school, my senior year. A lot of my friends were recreational stoners, and I thought, hey, let me give it a try and see what all the fuss is about. So I tried it. Nothing happened. So I tried it again, and I got high. Throughout high school, my senior year, I smoked it occasionally. When I went to college, my frequency essentially stayed the same. I don't need any help being any more paranoid. I also didn't have money. I grew up broke. I went to college, I was broke. I had to work, and so I never had money to spend on weed. It just wasn't that important for me, or to me. God, I'm so high right now. So my sophomore year, I'm living with 4 other guys. There's 5 of us in this house. Well, the other 4 of them really liked weed. Me, not so much. They were smoking it all the time. They were also starting to grow it. Now, back then, I didn't know much, but I did know that it was illegal. And I knew that prison was not somewhere where Alpha M would flourish. I would be popular, but I wouldn't do well. For these reasons, my junior year, I decided I needed to leave them and go and live by myself. So I went and got a 1-bedroom apartment. And really, that was about the end of my recreational marijuana use. Side note, I graduated in 4 years. My friends took them 6 years to get their forestry degree, but they made it. So whoever said smoking pot will lead to not doing things, it just might take you a little longer. I liked college. You know, I graduated with like a 3.2. I didn't really apply myself all that much. Once I got into the business courses in my later college years, when I got into my major, that was more interesting to me. But I was excited to get out of college. I saw it sort of as a necessary transition to me getting out and actually doing stuff that I was passionate about. And so I wanted to get done as quick as possible. So I did. Fast forward to today. I've been out of college for a while, and I do not smoke marijuana. I haven't touched the stuff in probably about 12 years. And there are a few reasons why. Reason number 1 is I don't like the feeling of being high. The older that I get, the more I like being in control of my mind and in control of my actions. That's the other reason why I don't drink that much anymore, is because, you know, same sort of thing. I like feeling the way that I do sober. For me, I'm not saying that I'm just saying for me, I don't need it. I don't want it. I prefer being sober. Reason number 2 is I've got too much to do. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm saying this in a good way. I've got a lot to do. I'm passionate. I'm excited. Every day I get up and I'm excited to do what I'm about to do. Sometimes I don't know what it is, but smoking pot isn't something that's going to help me do what I need to do. In my experiences, when I would smoke pot, I would just get lazy. I'd just sit around, watch TV, and eat. Leading to reason number 3, my vanity. All right, I work way too hard staying in shape and taking care of my body physically, and smoking pot, when I do it, I'm not saying that smoking pot is bad for you or that it's going to, you know, cause you to, actually it does reduce your motivation a bit, but for me, it made me eat like crazy, right? I got the munchies super bad, and so I already have a tough time, not a tough time, but I've got to watch what I eat or else I'm going to balloon up to 180 pounds, and so marijuana, another thing where I just don't want to eat all the crappy food that would come along with it. Reason number 4, it's just not something that I care to do. I think when I was younger, I did it for a few different reasons. One was because it was like something different. You know, as you're growing up, as you mature, you're starting to test limits and try different things. And I think for me, it was part of the, you know, sort of the rebellion, the youth rebellion, where I was like, ooh, this is bad, it's dangerous. All my friends are doing it, let me try. Because there was some peer pressure involved as well. Growing up, I wasn't hugely influenced. I say I wasn't hugely influenced. I'm sure that I was, to a degree, influenced by my peers, but, you know, even back in high school and beyond, like I said, I shouldn't have smoked that bong. I'm sure there was a dash of peer pressure in there. Also boredom. Sometimes when you're bored, when you're idle, when you're not working on something, you're like, what can I do now? Well, today, and where I'm at in my life and in my career, I don't feel the need to, you know, occupy my time with destructive behaviors. So to answer your question, do I have any experience with pot? Yes, I've got limited experience with pot. I've never grown it. I've never smoked it in abundance. I've tried it. It was recreational. Is it something for me now where I am today? No. Is it somewhere where in 5 years, 10 years from now, I'm going to be like, give me a joint and I'm just going to go on some stoner road trip? It's possible. I'm not ruling it out. Bringing us to the question, what is my thought and what is my opinion on marijuana? Am I opposed to it? No. Some of my dearest friends, most successful friends, do smoke the occasional bowl from time to time. But it's not something that I do for me. Do I think it's dangerous? Really, I think alcohol is more dangerous in the grand scheme of things. Way more people go, drink too much, get behind the wheel, and then kill somebody or damage themselves or develop a dependency on alcohol versus marijuana. I also know that there are amazing benefits to it medicinally. You know, I feel that marijuana absolutely should be legalized because you could tax the crap out of it. I know that people, the critics to legalizing marijuana are like, you know, oh my God, if you legalize it, everybody's gonna be smoking, it's gonna be anarchy. Well, here's the deal. I also believe in personal responsibility and accountability. All right, just because it's not legal doesn't mean that people can't get it. Really, it's about taking control of your life. If you just want to sit around and smoke bowls all day, all right, do it. All right, you're less competition for me in my life succeeding. You know, marijuana, when abused and used in excess, is definitely going to affect your motivation and your success. If it's something you want to do recreational, I'm not going to say not to do it. I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world because I have done it. But I'm saying that you need to put it in perspective. You also need to be responsible. You know, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. There are a lot worse drugs out there that, in my opinion, once again, everything I say is my opinion. Please don't take this as me saying, go out and smoke pot, or don't use it as an excuse of alpha smoke pot. Let me tell you something. I was super dumb when I was young. Don't do as I did, do as I say. I am having, like, anxiety now, thinking that I shouldn't have done this video. But... who knows? Hopefully, I don't even know. What is the point of this video? You guys wanted to, there's like 5 people out there that are smoking pot watching my videos. They're like, wonder if Alpha smokes. I know sometimes I probably act stoned. I am not, however. I am high on life. And that is the best place to be.